Once I'm in the ring, I'm a god. No one could beat me.
There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable, and I'm just ferocious. I want your heart, I want to eat his children.
Opponents trembled at the mention of him, mentally and emotionally defeated before they even got into the ring. The nasty glare Tyson stared his foes down with was both frightening and crushing. His eyes pierced into his opponent's souls, striking fear in their hearts from across the ring. It was a sign of the brutal violence Tyson would always dole out. Undeniably, Tyson had his fair share of knockout performances throughout his prime. Out of the 50 total career victories, 44 of Tyson's wins came inside the distance. He was a punching might that captivated the mind of every fan sitting ringside watching his fights live. And whenever Tyson was in the ring, fans knew something special was going to happen. With his raging speed and incredible knockout power, Tyson entertained boxing fans in the 80s and early 90s. Luckily, we've picked out a handful of them for you to enjoy, so you can relive all those highlights. Mike Tyson TKO 4 Larry Holmes, January 1988. Nothing is quite like the energy and electricity of a prominent heavyweight boxing match. Whenever fans saw Tyson's name in the headlines, they knew they were in for a thrilling experience. Against the legendary Larry Holmes, Tyson was on a task. Tyson got into this fight looking for a payback for his friend and idol, the GOAT, Muhammad Ali. Tyson was disappointed that his childhood hero took a beating against Holmes years earlier. A young Tyson called Ali the night he lost and told him, "When I grow up, I'll fight Holmes and I'll get payback for you." Tyson stayed true to his word, needing only 4 rounds to take care of business against the aged old hand. Holmes was coming out of retirement to fight Tyson for big bucks, but at that stage, he was no match for the surging heavyweight sensation. Tyson was simply too fast and too strong for Holmes. He separated his opponent from his senses in the 4th round with a roaring right hook. It was the only knockout loss in Holmes' celebrated career. Trevor Burbik TKO 2, November 22, 1986. At just 20 years of age, Tyson was young and violent. He was a gladiator in every sense of the word, and he made sure fans got their money's worth. When he met Trevor Burbik in November 1985, Tyson put on a complete show. With the tension at the top levels before the first bell even rang, there was never a gloomy moment in the fight. Tyson may have never taken a step backward against Burbik. Burbik tried to keep Tyson at a distance by fighting from a range, but it wasn't long until Tyson overpowered him with his trademark speed and power. It took just 2 rounds for Tyson to knock Burbik out. He sent him to the canvas 2 times. The first time early in the 2nd round between a monster right hook. A left hook later in the round sealed the deal. Mike Tyson TKO 5 Frank Bruno, February 1989. The run-up to Tyson versus Bruno was chaotic. Like many fights these days, this one continuously kept getting pushed back and delayed. But this let interest in the fight marinate and simmer. It also let both fighters to prime themselves both physically and mentally before getting into the ring. When Tyson and Bruno met in February of 1989, it was a thrilling contest from the get-go as the two immediately went at it. Bruno hit Tyson at the opening bell, going on the offensive. Tyson sent him to the canvas, but he quickly got to his feet. He stunned Tyson and almost finished him. The fight was close, however, Tyson ultimately went into full-on beast mode and trapped Bruno along the ropes in the 5th round. There he connected 3 devastating uppercuts and finished off the combination with a left hook to the jaw. The referee had seen enough and stepped in to call a stop to the contest. Mike Tyson KO 5 Francois Botha, January 1999. Those who have not followed Tyson's career closely possibly know him best for his notorious showdown with Evander Holyfield, where he bit off a chunk of Holyfield's ear. Surprisingly, fans forgave Tyson for that. And 2 years later, he was once again in the ring against Francois Botha. The fight against Botha was a breathtaking showcase of why Tyson is considered the most thrilling heavyweight in history. Every time Tyson stepped into the ring, it was not just a fight, it was an event. It was a show, a spectacle. Making his way out of the ring with his typical cold stare, all decked out in black, Tyson was intense and was all business while Botha stood in his corner and seemed unsure of himself. Although it took Tyson a little longer to get in stride, he finally caught Botha in the 5th round, ending the South African with a destructive left straight to the chin. Mike Tyson KO 3 Buster Mathis Jr., December 1995. After Tyson was convicted and sentenced to 6 years in prison in 1992, it put a stop to his exceptional boxing career. At the time, Tyson was at the peak of his game and was a superstar. 3 years later, he was released on parole, and he was resolute to make it back to the ring in short order. However, fans wondered whether Tyson could return to his previous form before he landed behind bars. The fight against then undefeated Buster Mathis Jr. was only his second fight after imprisonment. The first was a strange disqualification victory over Peter McNeely. It was being addressed as a tune-up bout for the former heavyweight king to find out if he could make another run at the heavyweight title. With Tyson's strength in question, Mathis stormed out of his corner from the opening bell. Starting strong to overpower Tyson, this proved to be his undoing, as Tyson needed just a few rounds to get into his groove until a vicious uppercut in the third round separated Mathis from his senses. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button if you enjoyed it. Until next time.